This is just a tremendous celebration for Sacramento State women's basketball.
Thank you, Mark. Head women's basketball coach at Sac State University. This is truly a dream come true for me. We got 3 main goals as a program. We're going to graduate 100% of the kids that come into this program. We're going to work really hard and compete for Big Sky championships. We're going to make sure the 4 or 5 years that you get to be a student athlete, if we do this right, that should be 4 of the 5 best years of your life. We're going to put a product on the court that you're going to be proud of, and this thing takes a village. And so we need all of the alumni. You guys, we need all of you to help. If there's anything you ever need from us, please reach out. And with that, I'll end it by saying Stingers up.
Lori Payne is in her 6th season as head coach at Northern Arizona. Mark Campbell in his 2nd season at Sacramento State. Both of these coaches co-head coaches of the year, along with Montana State's head coach, and Sac State wins the tip. That is Dean going right to work. Kalasia Dean sets the scene. These 2 teams squared off earlier this year. NAU won both of the games, the second one in overtime. High-scoring affair with both teams averaging better than 75 points per game. Olivia Moran with the turnarounds, tries to respond. Sacramento State starting 5, Kalasia Dean, Katie Petueta, Caitlin Radawa, Jordan Alvarez, and Isnel Natabo. And a Dean again.
Well, and you're already seeing how many on-ball screens are going to be set for Kalasia Dean here this afternoon. The young lady's so good off the bounce. It's going to be key for NAU to run her off and get between her and the screener.
They get it inside to Jaite, who's in traffic. Mark Campbell said our defense is going to win the day. We've got to put the clamps on that NAU offense.
And it's a prolific NAU offense. And so I think the key here is the totality of this defense. Can they sustain this high intensity for 40 minutes? Because this is Sac State's 3rd game in 3 days.
Be careful for the outside shooters because they can come alive. First points of the game for Emily Radabo, NAU.
Tracy, something to watch here today is just the pace of this game. Can NAU get stopped so they can get out in transition, which is when they're at their best?
Well, the kick, the dish, and the long distance, they've been living and dying with that for Sacramento State. And it's a reason they were tri-champs of the regular season for the Big Sky Conference with Montana State and with NAU.
Well, if I was averaging 9 made threes a game, shooting 47% from 3, I'd live and die by it as well.
Back to Jaite.
Mark Campbell told me yesterday, we're going to stick to doing what we do, and that is lots of on-ball screens for Dean, getting Natabo a lot of touches down low, and our 3-point shooters going to town.
Well, you could just see Natabo create space and give Oliveris kind of the lane to go work. Moran. Naya and Olivia Moran, the twin sisters, are both on the court for NAU. Both lefties, both create mismatch problems.
You see Skank trying to deny Dean the ball back, and that's a tough task.
Dean, that first step is a killer.
It's because she can shoot the 3, but she is so explosive, so shifty with her moves. It's a really tough matchup for anyone.
Nia Moran with the kick out. Long distance connection for NAU. Randawa getting it done.
The other 3 players on the floor are so huge for Sac State. They spread the floor and let these 2 go to work.
Olivia Moran, they're going to push tempo, and here they come. And they're going to try and open up the floor. 12-7, Sacramento State early lead here in the Big Sky Championship. Winner goes to the NCAA Tournament. What does NAU need to do to adjust out of the break?
Make some shots. It's chicken or egg for NAU. Because when they can get stops, they can get out in transition. When their transition game is going, they are at their best. And that prevents Dean from being able to set up in the half court, which is what they did in that first 5 minutes of this game.
One of the turnovers that Lori Payne said that she wanted is to get Dean to turn the ball over. They're successful at that.
And she also said it's going to be critical. As much as we want to push pace, the decision-making when we're pushing pace. And she really talked about Skank. She thought that this is where the veteran leadership of Skank could come into play for her ball club. And you see the double team already by NAU.
Opening it up from the outside. That's why they're so deadly. Brandowa. The senior out of Turlock, California. Make it so tough to defend the Hornets. There's Skank. And the 6'5" Isnell Natabo comes down with the rebound. Natabo, first team All-Big Sky along with Kalasia Dean. She was last year's newcomer of the year in the conference. Transfer out of Iowa Western. They are trying to get it into her, but they're going to, again, hey, if they're not coming out to guard Oliveira, she's going to take it.
Well, and you're seeing the problem that NAU has. They're worried about Natabo down low, so if you double, can you get back out to the shooters? If you help off to prevent a pass, shooters are spotting up and knocking them down, more importantly.
Hornets 4 of 7 from the field. They're getting some offense from all kinds of places. Committed to the goal of defense. Mark Campbell told us yesterday it's going to start there. Skank with the rebounds. Good look inside. Blocked by Natabo. Again. Sophie Glancy, her first field goal. Oliveira's trying to get it into Natabo. There's the double team and a whistle and a foul. Natabo, a 66% free throw shooter. For Mark Campbell, his team is 6th in the conference in free throw shooting at 73%. Nia Moran, Fatu Jatai checks back in for NAU. Under a minute to go. Moran counted and a foul. Natabo with the rebounds. 4-point ball game. Under a minute to go in this first quarter.
And this is interesting that Mark Campbell's leaving Natabo on the floor now with her second foul. 1-3-1 defense here by NAU for the first time here this afternoon.
A little different look.
I'd love to see Sac State be a little bit more patient because of who's playing that back line. They could have had Natabo down low with Skank on her.
2-second differential between game and shot clock. Skank. Skank strong to the hole and a foul.
Fearless.
That's generous.
Yeah, she went in amongst the trees there.
89% from the line. She hits 2. And substitution with 8 seconds to go as they do bring Natabo out. This is Oliveris with the basketball. 2 seconds. 1 second. She gets the shot off. Count it! Oliveris! The story is unfolding. Oliveris, 10 points to lead all scorers for Sacramento State. They're going to need it because Natabo has been silent so far.
Absolutely. I mean, we're used to the 1-2 punch of Natabo and Dean. Well, here in the first quarter, it was Oliveris and Dean combining for 17 of the team's 22 points.
Natabo is on the bench right now, so she'll come out on the bench. And NAU perhaps an opportunity in the making as they trail by 4 to start the second quarter.
You're seeing how NAU likes to spread the floor, look for dribble penetration, kick out to one another, but create for one another. And that's what they have to get back to, not trying to force shots.
Skank. Fatu Jaite was trying to get it done, had to kick it back out.
So far in this game, NAU 2 of 8 on layups or point-blank shots at the rim.
Dina's going to take Olivia Moran to the hole, and she is fouled.
What I truly believe is that even if fatigue sets in, she's not going to be aware of it because she's on a mission to try to bring this championship back to Sac State.
Dean is an 82% free throw shooter. Sac State coming in riding an 8-game win streak. Northern Arizona lost to Montana State in the Big Sky Tournament Championship last year. Good paint move inside, but nothing doing for Rodabaugh.
2 of 10 now for NAU at their shots at the rim.
And that's with Natabo and Dean out. They just cannot find their chemistry. Oliveris, she gets an A in chemistry.
But she's been the star here so far for Sac State, and it's not just been the scoring. It's been timely scoring, but her defense and her rebounding has been stellar as well.
Nia Moran off the mark. These are shots that the Lumberjacks have been making all tournament long. Rendawa looking for some room. She got it and uses the glass.
The bank is open in Boise today. This is where Rodabaugh or Skank have to get going offensively here for NAU.
Moran trying to get it done inside. She's a 68% free throw shooter and gets 1 of 2. That is their first point of this quarter.
Well, just as important as getting points is by that ball going through the net, now they can extend to some full court pressure.
And they do. Go to a little backdoor. Good look by Sac State finding Rendawa.
Tracy, this is open because Rendawa is a three-point shooter, so you got to get out on her. She reads that the defender's up the line, cuts it back door for the 2.
They have her as a 6'2 guard. Moran. Where do you find your offensive rhythm if you're the Lumberjacks?
I think you just got to get into creating for one another and definitely not turning the ball over.
Dean. Kalasia Dean. An interesting matchup. Dean is guarding her. Feldman puts up a shot. 1 and done for the Lumberjacks. So the glass, even with Natabo on the bench, is being owned by the Hornets.
Probably just as important. It's 1 and out every time for NAU. This is a team that came in today averaging 11 offensive rebounds and just being held off the glass.
Spin move and biggest lead for Sac State. Rendawa out, Oliveris back in, Skank back in for NAU, Feldman out, and NAU will inbound the basketball. Clancy, travel. Well, it was Oliveris and Dean that got them hot early, and they have not let their foot up off the gas.
And it's worth mentioning, the score was 18-20 when Natabo went to the bench. Sac State only 2 points up. They've extended that lead with their star player on the bench.
Oliveris is fouled.
But this is a team that at halftime especially has got to regroup and get connected on both ends of the floor.
Olivia Moran picks up the foul. 3rd team foul. Lori Payne's got to try and find a solution. This is a team she beat twice in the regular season. But Oliveris and Dean have something to say about that. Sacramento State is on a 17-1 run going back to the end of the first quarter. Well, that helps. If you can open it up from long distance, Rodabah. And then slow it down. Rodabah, or Dean against Skank. Rodabah is trying to get in there. Off the fingertips of Nia Moran to our Christy Thomas Cuddy.
Because they look so calm and composed. NAU's the one that just looks so sped up.
9 seconds left in the quarter. Dean with the screen by Nadabo. Dean's going to take it! And that is going to do it.
And you're seeing the 1-3-1 defense now of NAU.
Lori Payne trying to mix it up on the defensive end.
I think when you go against someone like Dean, you can't let her get comfortable.
Well, you said Nadabo's going to step up, and she heard you. Lori Payne told us Jaite can't out-physical Nadabo, but she'll definitely try to use some of her athletic prowess. Dean picked up basketball just in 6th grade. She and her father used to watch film as we watch the fight for the ball. Good job by Jaite.
And this is where I think Jaite's best at the 1-3-1. Get Glancy in versus the one-on-one defense, and here comes Skank.
Regan Skank, the senior guard out of Woodinville, Washington. Psychologically, if you're the Lumberjacks, you see your senior guard who's the leader start to score. Does it get you kind of relaxed a little bit?
You know, the one thing I've recognized about this NAU team is they feed off of one another. And so I expect anybody who gets going, they're going to feed off of one another.
The other side is responding, Skank. Good dish inside the Jaite, and there's the foul. You surprised that Dean at 5'6" tries to block the 6'1"?
The one thing from watching this young lady, I think she's a competitor. So any challenge before her, she's going to do. But as I said to you, dynamite comes in small packages.
Jaite nearly doubled her scoring average from last year. She has been a difference maker for NAU, and a reason they have been able to be co-champs of the Big Sky is more substitutions as Nia Moran comes out. Nia Moran looks a little frustrated, shaking her head quite a bit in the game, not going the way she wants. Mary McMorris is in for the Lumberjacks.
How many times has Oliveira's used a pass fake to get an advantage for her team?
So sweet is Katie Penuetta. She's just hanging out at three-point land.
One way is definitely to watch other great players.
McMorris in and out. Olivia Moran with the rebounds.
You think those 5 blocks in the game had an effect on Skank there where she got into the paint, pulled it out?
McMorris.
Lori Payne believed in McMorris's ability to defend Dean. Right now, for me, it's the pace with the lead. Sac State very comfortable to just let the air out of the ball go deep into each shot clock.
Nadabo. Glancy gets the ball. And Glancy's been so effective of handling Nadabo. It's McMorris, she's trying. Glancy. Skank still yet to find her groove. There's Glancy, wide open underneath, quick hitter.
Great execution on the out-of-bounds play by NAU.
So a 14-point ball game now.
Well, I want to go back to your point about everything that Lori Payne is trying in terms of the bench. I think the big thing right now is Montana Ultra-G obviously can't go. We could tell that she wasn't moving well, and so Lori Payne and her staff going deeper into that bench than she normally does.
Oliveris counted and a foul!
Jordan Oliveris, just hesitation, great change of speed, gets to the defender on her hip, and just powers that ball up for the and one.
(47-31). McMorris. Nadabo out of the game again for Sac State. tucked inside. And there is that Sac State defense.
Martin Campbell saying slow up. Walking the ball's too fast right now for him. He wants them to take the air out of the ball. Unless you have a clear lane to the basket like Jordan Oliveras and he takes it.
So we talked about Nadabo being out on the bench for Sac State. Dean is out as well. We're monitoring the situation. Kalasia Dean comes out of the locker room back onto the bench for Sac State as NAU tries to whittle away. Nadabo and Dean sitting next to each other on the bench. A prime opportunity for the Lumberjacks. And that's kind of the way their day has been going. Salape Amundsen setting the high screen. Amundsen.
Versteeg had it because her defender fell down. She just didn't realize it.
Randall looking for the screen. Got it! A 20-point lead for the Hornets. Nia Moran. They are just hanging out in three-point country. Amundsen off the mark. Skank. Olivia Moran fighting for the rebound, and it's going to stay as Randall comes out. Nadabo checks back in. Dean is back into the game with under a minute to go. Olivia Moran.
I mean, for the Lumberjacks, some of their best offense has been baseline out of bounds plays here this afternoon.
Stolen by NAU. It's going to go to the Lumberjacks. See if they can feed off of this. Nia Moran will inbound the basketball to her sister Olivia Moran. Draws contact, counted, and a foul. The Lumberjacks are on a 7-0 run in the last 48 seconds. Out of bounds, going to NAU. Olivia Moran over Rendawa. Skank. And a reach-in foul. Just over 16 seconds to go in this third quarter. Nia Moran. The kick out to McMorris. Time running out. McMorris, the floater doesn't go. Sac State, 52-39. Sacramento State 10 minutes away from winning their first men's or women's basketball championship. And 13 on the shot clock for Dean.
You go under, she's going to take the three. Fatigue might be starting to set in a little bit. She's been short on a number of shots here recently.
Well, that's where the 6'5" Nadabo comes in. Oliveras. Nadabo. Over the top for Nadabo. I got something to say about that.
Well, and she's the only player left from the previous coaching staff who has stayed through. And so, again, we know this means something for every athlete, but to go through a coaching change, to a team that was last in the Big Sky just 2 years ago. 2-on-1 here.
Nadabo breaks a 3-minute and 30-second scoring drought. This game is still in reach. 12 points, the highest scoring offense in the Big Sky Conference in NAU. It is possible.
Well, and that's the one thing. If you're Sac State, you don't want to put NAU on the free throw line, allowing them to get points without the time going off the clock. And this is a really good free throw shooting is NAU.
Randall picked up her first personal. Jaite with the rebound. And another reach-in foul.
NAU goes for that quick trap on the first pass, but no one rotates down, so it just allows Sac State to beat it every time. Let's see, Lumberjacks trying to deny Dean the ball back.
Oliveris. Skank.
You know, none of might only have the 6 points, but her presence has been felt. That's where all the open threes to start the game came from, because NAU decided to double on her, leaving the shooters open.
Randawa. Count it! And she'll go to the line.
You see the fire, the passion of Kaylin Randawa. Takes it off the bounce, keeps that pivot foot down to take it up, and look at the excitement.
Fouls on Neverson. And Sacramento State completes the three-point play. 14-point lead, just over 6.5 to go. Nia Moran, little give and go. Overpassing. They will work the clock from here on out, so long as the Lumberjacks let them.
And you just see how they can spread the floor. Now Dean's open on the weak side.
Oliveris. Spin move inside. Nanabo.
Nanabo gets that offensive rebound put back because of Oliveris' dribble penetration.
Nia Moran. Now she's warming up. NAU started full court press. First pass, they come back and sag.
Well, some of it is because the big is on the ball and they're trying to get back to match up with Nanabo.
Morris. Lumberjacks trying to find some consistency here. Nia Moran. Nanabo wants the ball.
Nice closeout by Skank.
Randawa. How do you stop that? Nia Moran.
I was just to say, basketball is spacing, and spacing is basketball. And Sacramento State is just that in a nutshell. They spread the floor so much with these shooters. And they get open looks.
No one out there to guard her. And the Hornets are inching closer. .50, just under 4 minutes to go. How do the Lumberjacks get back in?
They got to keep being patient. Great job there, ball reversal. That opened up the gate, and that's how Rodabach got to the rim. Stepped on the inline.
Is just a few minutes away. Skank. Jaite. Count it! And she is fouled. It is a 12-point game. Full court pressure, NAU. Trying to get the steal from Dean.
That's one of the first times we've seen the rotation by NAU.
And Jaite is going to be whistled for the pushing foul. And that is going to be her fifth.
You see that's going to be about the defense, but Moore's coming in, quicker defender.
6 points, 2 rebounds, and foul out for Fatu Jaite. Rodaba makes it a 13-point game. Skank's got to get to work quick. Crossover dribble, hard to the hole. Dean. They got to push. Kick out to Skank. In traffic. And they've got to be feeling pretty good. March is here, and ESPN Tournament Challenge is back. Scan the QR code to download the app and play the #1 bracket game. Create a group, invite your friends, and get ready for the madness. This is madness.
It's the greatest time of the year.
Skank. But can they get a defensive stop? 11-point ball game.
You got to take some chances now if you're NAU. You got to try to shoot some gaps.
They took a chance, it paid off. McMorris with the dish. And the Lumberjacks making a run. Olivia Moran. 9-point ball game.
Sac State needs to get it across.
And Dean's just going to hold on to it. NAU on an 11-3 run. But a reach-in foul against Olivia Moran. Sanaya Neverson comes back into the game. There's 2 scorers right there now for NAU. And when they need points, they are now on the bench fouled out. Meanwhile, for Sac State, they build on their lead.
For the Lumberjacks, because they got linked defensively and could disrupt. Really, whoever gets this team in the NCAA tournament needs to really do a deep dive in terms of their scouting, because this Sac State team can beat you in a variety of ways. And I go back to, it's the spacing on offense. They put so much pressure, and as an opposing defensive coach, you got to make some decisions, some hard decisions.
19 seconds on the shot clock for the Hornets. And they foul Olivares. The winner of this championship gets an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. You know, we tried to take Mark Campbell there, and we said, you came from Oregon. You probably know the Pac-12 better than anybody, because the Big Sky champ typically goes head-to-head in the first round. Sac State seeking to make history. Nia Moran. Rebounds. Sac State, Olivares and Dean. And Dean will be fouled. Point guard didn't always look to score. And as he worked with her game, she had double-digit turnovers in some of her initial games, but he stuck with her. And it's paying off.
In a big way. And first game of the year, case in point, 12 turnovers. He never flinched. You're my point guard. And he stayed with her, and now she has led them in 26 seconds to a Big Sky championship.
Randall checks back in. Skank, the feet inside. That's to Neverson. And Dean is fouled. Well, Coach, I'm going to ask you to look ahead. Will Kalasia Dean and Isnel Natabo create matchup problems in NCAA tournament play?
I think so. I mean, and again, I go back to the spacing in terms of Sac State's offense, and opposing defense is going to have to make a decision. Are you going to take away the inside? How are you going to play the screen on the ball? I think a taller player could potentially, with speed, give Dean some issues. But I like this team. I like the three-point shooting prowess. I think where it's going to get tricky is the bench play, or lack thereof.
NAU. It's tough to beat a team 3 times, and they couldn't. Sac State is making history. Sacramento State is the Big Sky women's basketball champion, making history. The first time ever taking the championship tournament crown. Winners 7